I'm gonna get shot because they're gonna think my camera's a gun. Y'all are gonna be proud of me. It's not midnight and we're filming something. It's great, right? It's great, isn't it? Magnificent. God damn, I love this thing. Okay, quickly. Check it out. I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible just to respect your time and also to respect my own schedule and other things. This place is under construction, that's why I haven't filmed a lot out here. As you can tell, it looks a lot different. It's a totally different building. The other thing was just an office trailer. That's an actual house. Great, I know, yeah, it's sick. Everything's dope. The Z06 is over there. We're gonna focus on that bad boy right there behind me, the 987S. It seems I upset some of you guys. A few of you new viewers and non-subscribers who hopefully have subscribed by now. There's a red rectangular button down there so you can go do that. But I just wanted to clarify some things off of the last video I made, which was a 2-year ownership review. Some people were mad I didn't do a 1-year ownership review. I was a little upset myself because I overlooked that. Therefore, I want to get into a quick rundown. I have some notes on my millennial notepad right here, or an iPhone, if you will. My hair looks fucking crazy. This is like a constant thing. I don't really prep to film these videos, guys. It's just kind of a run and gun, just being as authentic as possible. I'm not one of these guys that scripts things and puts them on YouTube. I just try to be as real as possible. I pick up a camera, put a memory card in it, charge the battery, get the car out, have fun with the car, and just kind of bring you all around with me. And I really like that cesspool, sex, what, yeah. I like that. I like this, I like what we got going on. Subscribe if you want some more stuff. I'm pumped up. Let's get into this. I'm just gonna burn right through everything just to give you as much value as possible. So running costs, the way I'm gonna break this down for you, pretty much it's kind of been the same. I've had this car for almost 3 years and it's been that same amount, so we'll multiply by 3 to see what it actually has costed me. And then once 3 years comes in, we will do a full official 3-year video. For now, I'm gonna go through fuel, insurance, maintenance, all that stuff, and also modifications. Maybe we'll see if we have time at the end of the video. Fuel is really simple. I have all these receipts. I keep every receipt I use for these cars, for every car, and it's honestly about the same. I weirdly don't even plan it, but I tend to drive these vehicles equivalently, like just as equal as each other, between all the Mercedes, oh, I didn't tell you that. We got another one. I'll post a picture right here. I'll stop it there and we'll just keep it on this though. Videos to come with that. I drive them pretty equally. All my fuel receipts, it's 603 for the year, for the first year, and it's varied. It's always been a little over 600, under 610 each year, which was just the past 2 years. This third year, it looks like it's about to be that too, if I continue to drive it like I do. There's like 8 weeks left in 2019. I'm gonna try to put this video up as soon as possible as well to keep you updated and not be a loser for content, because we've been busy getting all this other stuff up. This isn't even the only property. That's the best thing, is there's so much other stuff I don't show that we do, and it's just wild. I'm pumped up. Yeah, fuel 603 for the year. Also, if you're new here, just to give you a quick pro and con ownership experience review, pros and cons, things like that of this car. It's a wicked vehicle. I really haven't had any problems. Go check that other video out. I kind of get into like a 20-minute rant on it. That's exactly what that video is for. If you think I talk too much, I'm literally explaining things to you. I don't know how you expect me to show you shit and not talk. So if you have an issue with that, I'm sorry. We're working on it, but yeah, okay, look, we have this stuff. I got the LED spars, I got other mods and stuff like that. Mods aside, the car's great. It's been awesome, really reliable, has never left me stranded. That rear end looks so good. Comment below if you want those taillights. If you don't know, I can shoot the link down in the description also. It's fucking awesome. It's not the fastest thing like the Z06 back there. Way faster. But ultimately, it's just been a really awesome experience. I have no qualms or problems with the car. Insurance, up next, to get into the numbers of things again. Before I give you the actual premium value, just to let you know, yeah, I have full coverage, I have progressive, it's maxed out, PIP, comp collision, all that stuff. I register all my vehicles in New Jersey just because it's the best place for me to have my primary residence. I know that sounds weird, but if you have stuff in the city, if you have stuff elsewhere down by the beach, might be switching up to that soon, who knows. I did just do a house tour of a penthouse that I am checking out and considering. We're making offers on that right now as we go. $50 glass deductible, $750 deductible. I keep the deductibles high. I'm honestly about to bump it to 1,000 or even higher, just because, like, if that gets damaged, I mean, it hasn't been damaged, but if it does get damaged, but if it does, honestly, like, say if somebody runs in my bumper, my front end, it makes more sense for me to pay out of pocket to replace the bumper than A, to report an accident, B, you're gonna lose so much money in depreciation and whatnot if you report an accident on the car. I'm probably not selling this thing, but still, and if you don't sell it, that doesn't really matter. It probably is better to report the accident and then have insurance cover that stuff, but then your insurance premium goes up. I've been with Progressive about almost, I don't know, 10 years. I'm like a diamond member. I'm about to be emerald. So I get a huge discount. So this number is about to maybe whack your minds. I've gone over this in a separate video before and it hasn't changed. I pay $67 a month, full coverage, full PIP, maxed out comp collision, like I just said, $750 deductible, $50 glass deductible, $67 a month. That's $804 a year. So yeah, we're at $603 for fuel. This round down to $600. $804 for insurance. This is stuff that we need. Next up, we got maintenance. Maintenance with this car has been pretty simple. I've made it not harder on myself, but I've just been more diligent and critical of this stuff, just because not IMS, but bore scoring is more of a concern with me. I'll make an IMS video in the future, but realistically, between you and I, IMS isn't really my concern. Knock on wood. I hope nothing happens. If it does, it is what it is. Yeah, there's a rumor that that stuff happens, but bore scoring is more of a reality than IMS is for me. This is a 2008 Porsche Cayman 987S, a 987.1. I should disclaim that. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. The 2005 models, I think 2006 and up is the one where you really don't get propagandized for things. Just relax with an IMS thing. Comment down below whatever you think, but it's not a concern. Oil changes, on the other hand, I've tracked this vehicle a lot in the first year. The only real difference in ownership, and maybe to give even some of you vets out there who've been subscribers since like day one of this car, never filmed them just because I was under contract with the company. I'm not even gonna go into because I'll probably get sued if I bring it up, and I couldn't even really do track videos when I was tracking the car. We're gonna shut her off real quick. Got all types of things going on. We're gonna keep the lights on. Oh yeah. This isn't my first 987. This isn't my first Porsche. It is the first one I've owned for myself personally. If that confused you, I understand why. It's because my businesses. I used to own a driving school. I still invest in it. I used to own a driving school that did HPD and track instruction, and we had a ton of 987s, overall about 9 total. Only one of them had aggressive bore scoring, and that's because we didn't do aggressive oil changing. That's what I'm getting at here. Oil change is probably the most pertinent thing you can do with this car, is keep fresh fucking oil in the car. If you don't think that's correct, I don't care. I've had the cars. This is the 10th one that I've had my hands on. I know I wasn't the mechanic for the cars when we had the driving school. I'm pretty much my own mechanic now because I like doing it. It's one car. I don't give a fuck, and I'd rather do it. It's fun for me. Yeah, I could send this off to get an oil change, and I'm gonna make more money than the oil change costs for the hour that I let that happen, which financially makes sense, but I enjoy that. Not to mention, I also make money off the videos too, because these are monetized through AdSense. It's almost a wash for me at this point where it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care. It's fun for me, and also I'm critical with some stuff, not critical with others, but with that, I just like to be critical of my car and who's working on it. I haven't met a reputable Porsche mechanic local yet. The mechanics we used to have are all gone, so that just kind of is what it is. The mechanics we used to employ that I trusted on the Porsches are not local anymore, so I can't use them, and also I'd rather do it myself just because I'm kind of critical with things like that. I just want to know what's going on. I want to see the oil. I want to do all that stuff. I want to be around it, and have someone else do it and me just look over their shoulder is kind of stupid. I'd rather just hop under the car. So about 10 oil changes with the car. We've ran a ton of track days in the first year, and that was really the only difference. Track days are a whole nother thing, a whole nother video, a whole nother prep process to tech your car and whatnot, but it's also additional expenses and fluids, different fuel, all that stuff. It does add up, and it's a different expense. It's not really a daily driver ownership expense. I'm focusing on daily driver aspects of here, because most of you, that's what you're buying this car for, is a daily. If you do that, I'd probably just encourage you to get the base 5-speed manual also. That's another video, not gonna go into it here, but it's just something to consider. Focusing mostly on the daily driving aspect of things, just because I think that's going to give you the most value, because most of you, the majority of you, love it if you track your cars, but you're probably going to be daily driving this, which there's nothing wrong with that. Street cars are street cars, and these are badass street cars, super practical. Per oil change, I like to use the Mobil 1, the 0W40. It is what it is. People like to use AMSOIL, other stuff, Motul, all that, whatever. You can use anything you want. I don't care. Again, this is the 10th one I've been familiar with. This is the 10th 987.1 I've been familiar with. I like the 987.1 over the 0.2. The 0.2 is way more tunable. Just, you can get a lot more power out of it. But personally, like, if I want power, I'm not buying this car. I'm not buying a 987.2. I'm buying a GT3. I'm getting a GT3 RS. I'm getting something like my Z06. Honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, though, this is its own kind of go-kart. The Z06 is a rocket. Yeah, it's just different. With that being stated, yeah, Mobil 1, 0W40, you can vary that if you need, but it's been about $38, 40 bucks each time for the larger 5-6 quart containers. They're about, I got good deals on them, and I bought a bunch. About $40 for the 2 containers. Filters 20 bucks, crush washers like 70 cents. Definitely, you can reuse your crush washers, but it's so cheap. Why would you just buy them in bulk? You can get a ton of them on Amazon. It is what it is. If you're doing that yourself, you're already saving money doing the oil change. I would just not skimp out on the crush washer. Just get a fresh one. So you're looking about $60, $80 per oil change. I did 9 in the first year, just because I was tracking the car so much. I think, honestly, I probably could have done more oil changes. Generally would like to pull the oil after every track day, depending on how hard you're driving the car, but that's a little excessive. 9, 10 oil changes is even a lot for the car. Generally, with how I drive, I'll probably do 2, 3, 4 a year. This car's got about 45 to 50,000 miles on it right now. Overall with that, we're looking at 600, 800, 1500, and let's just call it 200 for oil changes if you're just gonna regularly do it. I think my amount is a little excessive for what it is, but for you, yeah, just call it 200 if you're gonna do 2 oil changes in a year. You might even do that. Surprisingly, I haven't had to change the brakes yet. That's probably gonna be happening soon. These Brembos have lasted a while, and these are tiny, like weak little skimpy brakes. One thing that this car falls short on is the size of the brakes. Super small. They could be better. They're not the smallest brakes in the world. They're good performance brakes, and they work really well for the car. They fit the car, but on track, it's a different story. They're just not as efficient. Also, the de-snork mod, I have a video on that too. I did that. You can do it too. You're gonna have to shoot a fire hose into there to really hydrolock the engine, but that's all opinion. Don't be an idiot. I have mine, you have yours. Tires. Next up, we got tires. It doesn't look like I need new tires on here. I've gone through about a set a year, 4 tires a year, except for the first year I went through a few extra. And listen, my friends, with tires, I like to go with Michelin. You can do whatever you want. My other 987 I have has Continentals, the Conti Extreme Sports. Got Super Sports on the rear. I could probably just throw these on the black 987 and just rip some donuts and blast these and get new tires on this. Sport Contact 2 Continentals on the front of this one. Beautiful little gem. But I'm a larger advocate of Michelin. Nothing really tends to grip as well as the All Seasons do in the rear, and then the PS4Ss or PSSs in the front. You can't go wrong. About $750 for each set, front and back, so you're looking 12 to 1500 depending on how you get them. It definitely didn't get dark, and we're definitely not about to finish this video indoors. Nay, 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 no. You're gonna love me. You're gonna love me for this. It is not gonna be finished inside. I love you guys. You're gonna want to kiss me for this, but wait, hold on, don't do that. You can do that later after we finish the video, or just the picture of me. Kiss that. Kiss the picture of me. We got some mail. This is very, just doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to this video. I'm gonna hop in the car, give you a start from inside, continue the video, give you all this information, and yeah, first, actually, I do want to open that because I think that's a credit card that I got replaced. It's just like a new colorway of the card. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this. I wonder if we can. Now look, I just want to point this out. Maybe I'll list a link in the description because I know that Discover does offer some referral program, and if you know anything about credit cards, if you use credit cards responsibly, the way they're intended, they're kind of like alcohol, except I don't even drink that much. I'm opening this off camera. because information and stuff. I don't want you to like kill me and rob my shit. You get like 50 bucks if you apply and sign up. Just pay your balance off. I'm not giving you financial advice. If you use that referral link and if you decide to get a credit card, you get 50 bucks, and I think you get 5% back on Amazon purchases. So if you do that and you get approved and do that for Christmas shopping, I think overall you get, like, if you spend $250, it might not have a balance or a limit, but if you spend $250 and then you get 50 back, that's 200, 5% on that, what, $12.50? I'm just, I might not be doing quick math here. I'm just trying to do quick math. I might not be right, but you save like, what, $63 almost off of a $250 purchase, or just off 50 bucks. 250 is gonna be like another $12 though. But I'm not telling you to spend money. I'm not telling you to get a credit card. I just wanna look at this. We're going to unveil this card because it's like a holographic. Let's see. Ooh, oh, ooh, can you see that? It that kind of is pretty cool, actually. I thought it was just gonna be one color, but it's like an old school Pokemon card. They do such a good job at trying to get us millennials, or whatever you want to call me. I'm 27, but they do a good job at trying to make us like credit cards, because I grew up with Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh, and they had like this holographic shit. Damn, that sucks. They had this holographic stuff going on. I can't get this off. Oh, I suck. The fuck is that noise back? Yeah, I'll clean this off later, but just so you see it, it has all my information on the other side, which that's very video friendly. Look at that. It's kind of cool. Yeah, there you go. Just side note from the video, whatever you want to call it. It's just irrelevant to this actual video. I just literally am giving you real-time stuff. Consider it a vlog. Consider me to shut the fuck up. As I clean this up, by the way, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe down below. That's just for your advantage. I may have already said this earlier in the video, but I shout out subscribers all the time. Comment down below, hashtag Porsche, you know, just like that, down there, and yeah, maybe I'll shout you out. If I don't get to you, I probably will, but if I don't, just notice you all don't go unrecognized. I do appreciate all of you guys that watch this video, even if you're just accidentally supporting me by watching this video. Whatever, just enjoy the video. I don't care about anything else. We're just gonna start the car now. I just had a lot of coffee. I'm gonna go to the gym soon. Let's start this. So I'm gonna put the key. Oh, it's cold. We put the key in here. These key fobs are so. Oh my god! Oh my god! For the radio too. Just a side note, I'll get into everything else and finish off this stuff, but this is relevant. This radio, it sounds good, it just kind of sucks as far as hooking your phone up to it, but this little device, I'll make another video on this. It's got some carbon on there, it was like 20 bucks. ROAV. I'm gonna hit you up. I think it's a ROAV. I'll make a video on that separately, but let's start this bad boy. You can hear it from inside. That'd be funny if it didn't start. All that stuff's just false. I just gotta recalibrate that. Real-time stuff, baby. Damn, everything. I'm low on gas, too. I'm gonna switch it up for you a little bit here. And back to business. I'm gonna give you a full annual ownership, even monthly running costs of everything included at the end of the video. So just stay tuned. All this stuff's important if you're a prospective Porsche owner or 987 owner, just like this car. This is what the inside looks like from here. I mean, everything's just blacked out, and it's exactly how I want the car. I think it looks great. I think that looks good blacked out. Those wheels are dirty as F, so just don't worry about that. The vehicle's also pretty dirty too. I gotta clean it. Detail spray from Lithium Auto Elixirs. There's a coupon code in here you can use. I'm throwing a lot of coupon codes, promo codes, whatever at you guys. It's just for your benefit as well. Some of them do have a kickback for me, like the Discover card thing. We both get 50 bucks. Otherwise, aside from the running costs, there's not too much left to go over on. I'll just cover all our bases starting from the beginning and give it like a nice little bumper to bumper, paper to paper overview. It's comfortable to drive. Yep, it's a sports car. It has its creature comforts. There's only 2 seats in the car. The front trunk, it's good size. It can fit about 2 healthy and well-folded, average-sized human bodies in it. The rear hatch fits about twice that, just in a more awkward spread of volume that's from the seats back. So you have the mid-engine layout up top, and then you have the rear hatch cavity, if you will. There's carpet over that. You can also get a glass engine bay. I kind of am considering that too as one of the next mods and videos for this car, just because I think it's pretty cool. You gotta clean that engine bay though. It's probably dirty. I haven't been in there in a couple months, so I do clean it when I get in there. 987 being mid-engine, not rear, gives the rear its recessed low height and also makes the car seem somewhat longer from better angles, like the picture I showed earlier. The sound system's great. Again, it's hard to pair up a phone, but with that little ROAB device, I'll see if I can list a link down below too, but I'll make another video on that. Really simple to pair up and really good. Don't mind the unfinished HQ back there. I've talked about that earlier. The point one is Tiptronic. It's not PDK, kind of, I don't want to say sucks, but it's just my preference. I'm not a fan, kind of sucks. Not as satisfying as the manual, which is slightly sloshy stock. You can make some aftermarket adjustments, but it still shifts short and sort of bolt action rifle-esque. I think I stole that from someone. Bolt action-y. It's, I think I stole that from someone, to be honest, but it is like that. It's a little sloshy though. The S2000, if you've ever driven one of those manuals, it's a little bit better, but it's still, Porsche gearbox is a Porsche gearbox. It has its own feel, whether that's better, worse, or whatever. It is what it is, you know what I mean? The handling needs no introduction. It's better than Ferraris, 911s, Lambos. It's just good because it's mid-engine. It's just really, really smooth and really good. One side note, the good thing to throw in too, if this is like your only car, but it handles great in the winter, in the snow. This car is sort of my winter sports car, like to go, my go-to sports car. To go, not Applebee's to go, but it's my to-go car that I select over the Z06. The Z06 is fun, it's doable, but it just isn't as good as a mid-engine layout. Even with like the track mode and the weather mode and all that stuff, this is just perfectly balanced. Even with the whole torque tube converter and that balance ratio, the Z06 is just too powerful for its own good, and that's why I like it. But this is a Porsche video. Even in the snow, on summer tires. Ask me how I know. And by the way, get all seasons like I have in the rear. Even summer tires in the front, all seasons in the rear are a lot better because they'll still hold grip. But if you're on all fours, snow tires, or summer tires in the snow, it's just not a good situation. You know those videos where you see people slide down a hill and they can't stop? That's because they have the wrong tire. Probably bad all seasons or summer tires. Just get all seasons if you plan to drive in the cold or snow. Seriously, you'll fucking kill somebody. I'm not even worried about you killing yourself. We need less idiots in the world. I'm just worried about you hurting other people or those beautiful 987s. Don't do it. It's bad. It'll hurt me. It'll hurt my feelings. Back to regular climate driving. Speed could be a little bit better. The 3.4 liter handles that not too bad. Again, I've driven everything, not everything, but a lot of everything, almost everything under the sun, and it's not the fastest car, but that's not why you buy these. I have to stress that. You don't buy it because you want to go hit the quarter mile. Trust me, this runs like I think this runs with everything done to it like a 12.7, which is really good for this, like 12s. I'm surprised it even hits 12s, but with it being manual too. It does need bigger brakes. These brakes, like I said before, it does need bigger brakes. They're a little small, they're weak. You can upgrade them. I would recommend it, look into it, maybe add a second caliper. It's just whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. Stock ride height isn't that low, but the car is low, so it's not high, if that made any sense. There's just some wheel gap, like I can show you in here. I could fit on an angle 4 fingers. I could definitely straight through fit 3 fingers in there. A fist, you know, it's going in there. I'm fisting my car. Look at that. I need to upload this to a different site other than YouTube now. Damn. Attention. Very, very interesting thing to point out because it's not something I regularly consider. I'll get into that after I explain this. It doesn't attract a lot of attention. My Z06 breaks more necks. Yes, the Z06, a Corvette, an American car, a Chevy, breaks more necks than the Porsche does. The Z06 does have its own look to it. Like if you put it next to an F12, it looks very similar to the TDF, just sharper, more aggressive, more like Lambo wedge inspired than a Ferrari. It's like a Ferrari Lambo hybrid, and we're not even talking about that. We're talking about Porsches, Matt. Porsches! Is the E like a Porsche? You drop off, or do you just Porsche? I think going Porsche is wrong. I think it's just Porsche. Porsche. Yeah, I drive a Porsche. Yeah, Porsche. Not I drive a Porsche. I sit on the porch. I don't drive one. And it's not Porsche. It's like Murcielago. You don't go Murcielago. Porsche. It's Murcielago. Porsche. Bam. do it. Do it right. You can say Porsche every now and then to switch it up. I'm okay with that. I'm also not your daddy. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Maybe I'm daddy. Call me daddy. It just doesn't attract attention, especially when the Z06 was wrapped. It broke necks like crazy. Most people who have no clue about cars thought the Z06 was a Ferrari, and this ties into maybe because the 987 is just all stealthed out. That could be why. That could be a huge factor. But I think the 987 looks best and most updated as the age is well hidden with that colorway. Just naturally, I'm sure brighter colors would attract more attention. So you gotta take what you can get with what you want, and if you care, and if you don't care, I don't care. I buy the car for myself. A lot of people say that, but they're buying this thing just to flex. I've noticed. Don't flex. Unless you want to do that, that's fine too. Do whatever the fuck you want. Buy it for whatever reasons you want. Now this is very clearly a Porsche, but the same people who think my Z06 is Italian are the same people who tell me how awesome my GT3 is and how their friend has the same one, just in a different color. That's not a GT3. That's not a GT3, my friends. Far from it. Don't try to pass it off as one. You shouldn't either, but it's not a GT3. It's a 987. Yeah, GT3s are sick. That's a 987. A side note on that, this may be important to some of you, just buying this car to flex, like I said earlier, but most average people just give you a good for you attitude for this car. It's not a hypercar, it's not a Lamborghini, it's not a 918. I say that with the utmost respect for this brand, for Porsche as a brand, but you need to look at this from like a general person's perspective, not a car enthusiast's. In this example, I'm not saying for everything, but just in this example, because this might matter to some of you. Your dentist could have a 911R or a GT2 RS, and your ex-girlfriend is going to think you both have the same car. Your girlfriend's dentist, you know, the guy who's in her mouth like once a month all the time. Yeah, or boyfriend for you girls out there. Watch out, there's dudes in your dude's mouth for teeth purposes, for dental stuff. Fluoride. That doesn't mean they think your 987 is a $500,000. That also doesn't mean that they think the GT2 is 90 grand or well, actually, no, they think everything is 90 grand. Generally seems to be around the price people think that all Porsches are, like $50,000 or $60,000 or $90,000. There's something, they just give weird numbers and there's no justification for it at all. What I'm getting at is regular people that aren't enthusiasts just think the cars are no different. Porsche is a Porsche. They just think none are different in any way imaginable or possible unless they've been otherwise educated. They need to come to this channel, or they need Jesus or Satan or a pizza or something. I don't know. Whatever you think they know, but I don't know. That's sort of an important and unthought of fact when you go to buy a car, for me at least. I'm never really thinking in my vehicle purchases, wow, I wonder what people are gonna think of me. It's hard to really fathom and be real with, even if it doesn't matter. Like for me, it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, it kind of does matter, because it's like me running around naked with, yeah, naked in public. Like that it's got a look to it, and you get a reputation. It just depends on what you want your reputation to be. If I want to, you know, make cat videos online, I'm gonna be the cat guy. Even if I love cats and don't care what you think, I'm still the cat guy at the end of the day. Super Cats, Philadelphia. It may matter to some, but that being said, as much as it doesn't matter, it sort of does in a weird subjective way, but it's low value factor for me for sure, and it should be for you too. These P cars are not for flexing to the general public. They're for driving for yourself. They're for you to enjoy for yourself. This is like side chick kind of thing. Even though it's main chick quality, it's actually like wifey quality. These Porsches are put together perfectly well. Really well, like art, almost. It's very satisfying, very satisfying. The fit and finish is just great. Look at my hair, look at my hair. That's the end point of that, and that's all I'm getting at with that. It's cold out. I'm gonna get back in the car because, oh, it's cold. Woo, woo, it's cold. Oh yeah. Something else to throw your way, things that can or are known to break. If you've done your research, you would know this because it's very common stuff. Just a quick Google search will show you. But your water pump, ignition coils, AOS, air filter change your air filters. Do change your air filters. That's not like a thing that can break, but it'll stop other things from breaking. It'll make the car like you a lot more too. It'll just make the car run healthier. It won't sag. It won't have saggy nipples or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It won't suck. It'll suck a lot less, especially if it's just beaten on. All cars, if you drive like a brand new 987 Porsche or whatever, if you do that and then you drive one that's been beaten on, like a rental car, you can tell there's a huge difference. It's just because they're used. You know, they need, I hate to say the word tune up because it's so vague and generic and has like a stigma to it, but it needs like to be tuned up, I should say, rather than a tune up. Change your air filters, change your oil. The small things will help you, save you from the big things down the line. in my opinion and my experience. IMS is its own story to cover. I'll make a video on that separately. I've actually been wanting to do that and like give like science and stuff and facts, and maybe have like a mechanic there to really talk about it, and just to get a few different opinions, because you know, one opinion is one thing. A lot of people cry about IMS. It still exists, even though it's a low rate. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. In my opinion, from 05 and up, it's not something to really worry about. Again, we're in the double digits of just experiencing these cars. We've owned 10 with the business plus this, and this is technically a business too now. It's just a small thing I would maybe consider, but just not worry about. Don't harp on it. Don't let it deter you from buying the car. And if it really does, get a 0.2, but yo, like it's really not a big deal. I like these better than the 0.2s. I like these way more than the 0.2s. That's just a thing. It's just a thing. They're not DFI. The 0.2s are more tunable and better in that sense of power, but I'm not buying this car for power. Disclaimer with the issues, I haven't had any of this stuff go in the 3 years of daily driving this car, knock on wood. I did change the ignition coils. I did do all that stuff except for the IMS thing, mainly just small maintenance, and I think that's the reason why I haven't had big things go wrong, because I do the small things and care, and I beat them to the punch before they break on me. I haven't done a water pump. Overall, this is an awesome car. Do buy one if you enjoy driving back roads, enjoy speeding tickets. Not really. The Z06 way worse for speeding tickets, because you're going 170 before you even realize it. If you enjoy sometimes doing your own basic maintenance, or make enough money passively or actively per hour to send the car off to a certified mechanic and make more per hour than cost of service per hour, if that makes sense. So you end up net positive. Just say you have a service bill that's 550 bucks. In the time you dropped the car off and then went to work and did stuff and made your money make money, or made you make money, or your hours made money, whatever the fuck you do to make money made money, is more than that 550. If it's worth it to you, sure, but at the end of the day, you're still expensing that 550. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's just leverage of time and investment of time, and just paying a specialist to take care of it. Also, just find someone you trust, a certified mechanic. I would recommend that. Or if you just want to blow $150 per hour, because that's, I guess, the basic maintenance cost. I've seen as high as like 210, 175, 150, 120, 90 per hour. There are like Honda dealerships that charge 120 an hour now too. So it just kind of, I don't know. But do whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever you enjoy doing more, do that, because listening to some guy on the internet that's going to tell you to do something different, and it, you know, may not be your favorite thing to do, it's not going to make you happier in the long run. It'll just maybe save you some money. Also, if you're an older chap, older gentleman, like an older lad or lass, enjoy being accepted immediately into all Porsche groups, just because this is, I don't want to say a retirement car, because that sounds bad. I don't mean in a negative way, but this is a car all Porsches, even Boxsters and 911s, they're cars that generally not younger people go for. I'm 27. I consider myself subjectively young, fucking old as fuck, bro. But yeah, you'll immediately be accepted into everything, and probably everything you do. There might be a few young dickheads that make fun of you, but who cares? Fuck those guys. On the flip side, if you are a younger chap, you might enjoy making your car unique. Like me, all I did was just black everything out in this car. Really nothing too aggressive. I did put like the Supercars of Philadelphia logos on the side, but that's for like marketing purposes, advertising purposes. If you can't get that, through your head, I don't even know how you bought this car. You probably borrowed money from someone that you shouldn't have given you any money to borrow this car. This car isn't even that expensive. You like to make your car unique and do some crazy, very bold stuff. That's fine, man. Do what you want to do. It's your car. I like that. I like seeing people do that. Some stuff's a little crazy and outrageous, but do whatever the fuck you want to do. You're gonna get roasted by some of these older purists and just older guys. Well, again, all I did was black out my car, and I get roasted all the time by dudes who probably, you know, saw an Insight commercial, took way too much, and then hopped on the keyboard once their wife or whoever, spouse left, dude, whatever, boyfriend left the house, and now they're alone, and they're just really excited, and they take that out on me or my car on these videos on the internet. Sorry for you, brother. Sorry. Go use that energy in better ways. Keyboard warriors, savages, pure savages. That stuff shouldn't bother you. I'm just kind of joking around here. Also, on that note, in a negative way, enjoy getting told your car isn't a real Porsche. It is It's better and worse in many ways than the 911 in many ways. I can't say that enough. Many. But the 987 carries over so many 911 parts, like just interior wise too. You can see it really does. You can interchange so many GT3 parts like from this era and this time into the car and make it perform and handle a lot better too. And it's mid-engine, so let's think. I don't want to stress this here, but you're on like RSR territory, 911 RSR with the mid-engine. Ooh, oh, it's not quite, but you know, a man can dream. If you enjoy modifying your exhaust, because that needs to happen to really appreciate the car's sound, enjoy making small modifications to basically freshen the car up too. You know, like just getting rid of the orange stuff and the tail lights and the daytime running lights. I do like the stock daytime running light. To put a fucking bow on all of this and just to kind of, you know, end this so I'm not taking up all your time, because this is probably a lengthy video for good reason. A, because I can't shut the fuck up. B, because I can't shut the fuck up in your benefit because I'm giving you information. That's why I'm not shutting the fuck up. Plus, we're just chilling here. Relax. I'm not a fucking professor, okay? I'm Matt. I have numbers here. Running costs per year and month. I'm gonna break this down for you right here. Fuel, $2,400 a year. I fucked up earlier and I was giving you quarterly numbers. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. At least I admit my faults. What the fuck have you done wrong in life? Bet you're not telling anybody about that spaghetti you overcooked 7 years ago, you slut. Fuel, $2,400 a year, it's $200 a month. Insurance, $800 a year, it's $67 a month. Maintenance overview. Budget, worst case scenario for fluids, oil, brakes, rotors, tires, bulbs, etc. Regular wear and tear. I guess this is kind of scripted at this point. I'm kind of like going back on what I said earlier, but this is just so you guys have fucking numbers! That's why, it's just so you have numbers. Let's just look at, on the low end, you're roughly $300 to $1,000 for maintenance. Again, that's all above things I said and stated. Average $600 to $1,800. Hard daily use tracking, excessive mileage, like just ripping mileage on this, like doing over 20,000 miles a year. You're looking at $1,500 to like $6,000 just because this stuff quantifies. And this is all based strictly off of my experience and quantified. Please start a conversation with me if you agree, disagree, have experience to testify down in the comments. If you've never owned this car and you're going off of things you've read off the internet, just so you know, you're literally comparing what someone else said, just like me right now, to what I'm saying, just like me. So you're comparing what someone else said to what someone else said, and you have no actual proof yourself. That's like saying that you know for a fact the earth is not flat. I'm pretty sure the earth is not flat, but I have never been to outer space to verify with my own eyes that the earth is round. I think it is. I'm not saying the earth is flat, but like, let's be real here. I've never seen it with my own eyes. When I see it with my own eyes, I sound like a conspiracy theorist now. Fuck! Yeah, but back to that, an average number to be budgeted in maintenance on average use and enjoyment of the car. I like to just call it $1,000 a year. It's normally less, but that breaks down to like $80 a month. So total running costs, bumper to bumper, paper to paper, all that fun stuff. I like that term, bumper to bumper, paper to paper. Should make a podcast. $4,200 a year. That's $350 a month. Now, this is with budgeting that extra $1K a year. You may spend a bit less, you may drive a bit less, you may do more. This is all based off of me case studying my motherfucking self. For you. Prospective buyers, Porsche buyers. And the last end I want to tie up, just I think a good point to make that I haven't covered yet is the purchase price. At the time this car was low 30K miles, manual, in great shape, was listed for about 44K. Yeah, that's kind of high on that end, but back then, like, you saw a lot in that range. With these options, manual, low mileage, all that stuff. I'll admit, very high, but this number is being big, is big because of their initial markup for the negotiation. You know, the discount I gave myself by negotiating it. But I negotiated down about 2/3 of the asking price. Well, down to 2/3 of the asking price. Lowballing and tire kicking, not encouraged by me, but justifying your reasoning and separating what you are willing to pay versus what you can afford, I'm big on that, is huge. Luckily, there are super high mileage, beat up examples on the market. The drive market value from a spreadsheet point of view, like down, super low, and super high. So there's a big range of vehicles to compare. You want to run comparables, just like in real estate or anything. Run comparables so you can justify price. I was able to justify and settle on a price of $29,500. Big news, good news for me. Big, good news. China. Donald Trump, great. fucking great. Seriously, it was awesome. Very happy for that. I could go into stuff like that in future videos you guys asked for. But 29.5 at this mileage and option layout, I could probably privately sell this car close to around that. I could probably sell this for about the same price. In the winter, maybe a little bit harder, a little bit less. In the spring, maybe about that or more, subjectively on how I run the car over the next few months. Could see these cars mildly appreciating, given a few key factors, key punches with market, demand, supply, all that stuff. Ultimately, it's up to supply and demand for a manual 3.4 liter black on black 987.1. I'd probably revert it back to stock unless I had a buyer that really wanted that. I do have all the stock parts for the car. I do have everything that ever came with the car. I still have. I don't think it'll appreciate by much. My driving will surely depreciate it a bit more. That's really the only factor that's appreciating these like severely is driving. Sorry, my face itches because it's cold and I'm heating the car up. It's hot. If I weren't to drive it at all and just hold on to the car, stupid idea, Matt. I could see them going up in value, trivial amount, too trivial to really be of concern, but just pointing that out. Had I bought this car at asking price of 44 or even market value 33 to 36K 3 years ago, I'd be looking at about $1,000 to $2,000 a year depreciation per year. That's what a year means, Matt. Thanks. Good work. I'd consider that to slowly lessen per year as the years go by, but it still exists, so it's still a thing. Could trade into a dealer, get about 10 to 30% less, depending on what they decide to do. That's driven by if they want to auction the car, if it's got too many mods, or if it's just not able to sell in that state, or if they do want to resell themselves. But I'd also get a tax credit. This is fun. Plenty of you have requested buyer's guide, so I'll get to work on that. But for now, say I sold the car at $25,000, I pay 7% sales tax in New Jersey because that's where it's registered. That's another $1,750 towards my next car, roughly. I think that might be wrong. Fact check me. I get that towards my next car in the form of a tax credit if I trade it in at point of sale, because New Jersey sucks. So for about 25K, I'm getting about $26.75. If I traded in now, I'd have lost about $27.50 from the buying price of $29.5. That's $915 per year, $75 a month. So add that on. Take it to the bank. That's if I threw in the towel and just didn't want to sell it or market. I just trade it up. I'd no effort in selling or listing or negotiating. Granted, that's a fair price for this currently, and that fair price offering dealer would happen to have a car I wanted to make a trade in. It's just all the stars would need to align. It'd have to be perfect. NJ makes it really tough and shitty to own cars and make money off cars, but that's not really the reason why you want to buy them, although the cars that you do buy don't want to make money off of it, and New Jersey makes it a little bit harder, unless you have like dealer hookups and connections. That's usually where they come from anyway. PA is a little bit easier. Just check your local state tax laws and DMV or DOT rules for that. This is not financial advice. I'm not a fucking financial advisor. I'm not an expert. I'm Matt. I am Matt. All I can do is give you Matt and his thoughts for entertainment. And do with this what you fucking will. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. Seriously. But, you know, use your brain and use my experience as comparable evidence and results, but not as financial advice. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you the truth of what situation I'd be in, and this is all fantasy, as I don't plan to sell the car unless the right opportunity arises. And that spawns the thought of me asking you, what would be a fair vehicle for me to trade this 987 in? As I do have the other blue one, and I have plans for that. I have the 986, we have the Z06, so Porsche content is available. What would be a fair vehicle? I'm curious what you think if you made it to the end, because you're probably an OG subscriber. Thank you for being you, by the way. Yeah, what do you think? Give me two answers. A Porsche replacement, you know, like if it had to be a Porsche, or just give me any exotic replacement. I've had thoughts of owning a 944. 944 ownership has crossed my mind many times, many times over the past few years. If I ever did get rid of this 987, still have the blue car, which is good, blue 987, so we can make stuff on that. There's a ton of stuff that can be done with that because that needs a lot of work. But also, I would replace this with something cool and enjoyable, probably from the same time frame, between 2006 to 2012 maybe. I have an idea of what I'd want to do, and I'll talk about it in a second. But I would also get the 944, maybe. Not to replace this, but just to add another car, because I really, like, I'll post a picture right here. I don't know whose picture this is. It's sick. It makes me want one really bad. It's just a wide body 944. Just even if I leave it stock, but that'd be cool to eventually LS swap and all that stuff. That's this kind of stuff dreams are made of. I think ownership with that side by side, another exotic, and the other 987 and the Z06 would be cool. Porsche content always plentiful on this channel and enjoyable for all of us. Enjoyable for me to make and you to consume, and me to consume, and you to share this with people. You know, it's a big change. But would you be upset to see this get swapped for, like, something as different as a manual V10 Gallardo. That's still cool. Don't just be a purist. I like all cars. I like Porsches. Lamborghini really holds true to my heart. I think I need to own one. Driving them is one thing, owning them is different. We'll see. This car, it's driving them is one thing, owning them is different. For sure, it's made me like it more, to be honest. And hopefully I get that maybe with a Gallardo or just with anything. I'm not saying I'm getting one. I'm just throwing that out there. The Z06 is just too great as a daily. This is still a good daily, but I don't think I'd want to replace the Z06. It's just too perfect. This is fun, but this is more like project-y, and I don't really know how to explain it, but it makes more sense to swap this out for something more exotic. The Z06 feels, I hate to say it, but more like a big boy car. The 987 feels like still it's in that sub sports car range, like an M2 or I hate to say Miata because it's not, but you know, things like that. Things like that. Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? You want to see me get Porsche people out there? I'm just asking you. You want to see me get like a V10 manual Gallardo or like a Superleggera that's E-gear? I'm not getting a manual Superleggera, but maybe do like a swap. I don't know. So many things to do. But would you be upset about that is what I want to know. The thought and potentially opportunity has crossed my mind plenty of times, a lot, and maybe a desk. Let me know.